This is Constar Review with Martin Bennett. Hello everybody, back with another Constar Review. Today it's going to be like a 2-in-1 because, well, it's one is the regular edition and one is the retro edition with a couple extra scenes and stuff like that, little extra special effects. What I'm talking about is the Valhalla stone.
Engineer's personal log. Stardate 1317.5. The Valiant has rendezvoused at Starport Orchard, where we will change out several key personnel and prepare to undergo a refit. I'll admit, I don't know if I'll even recognize this ship anymore, but the past 3.5 years have been very trying. I feel as if I'm standing still, but I don't have the energy to move my legs. I've also just learned that something is waiting for me here. An inheritance following the death of a relative I barely even knew. I really don't know what to expect, or what to look forward to.
It's open!
Hey, Eric, this is waiting for you.
Thanks, man.
What's in it?
I don't know. I only heard about this a few days ago, after a death in the family.
Oh, wow. Some sort of family heirloom?
My family's not like that. We're not close.
Oh, gee, that's too bad. My family's all about the gatherings and the food.
Yeah, I hear you on that, man. But, thanks. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. I'll get out of your hair.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
To who it may concern, if you're receiving this message, then you have in your possession the rare item quadlithium. To the Federation, it can be a source of great power, or it can bring it to its knees. Don't let it fall into the wrong hands. I've lived through one terrible war, and I don't want to live through another. Godspeed.
Mr. Menard,
Captain?
how are the shield upgrades?
They're good. The nebula shouldn't cause us any problems.
Commander, I beg to differ.
You have something to share, Mr. Taval?
This nebula is barely that. It's more of a spatial anomaly than anything else.
In what way?
Most nebulas, as you know, are comprised of space dust and ionized gases. This phenomenon is a concentrated barrier made up of magnetized particles and other minerals our sensors can't identify.
We're approaching the nebula. Thought you might like to see it.
Ah! Beautiful. Isn't it?
Ambassador Emmerich, I believe you owe me an explanation.
Captain! My apologies. I'm sure you have many questions.
That's right, I do. Our sensors can't identify this nebula, or whatever it is, or even tell us what it's made of. And I am not prepared to take my ship into something I don't understand.
Relax, Captain Bishop. Everything you need to know is on this.
Ambassador, if I may.
Oh,
Information about the nebula?
oh, and much more. Baratus is a biplanetary system with one moon. That moon, which is in orbit of both planets, is called Infinity. It has an M-class atmosphere and gravity similar to that of Earth's. There is an old abandoned base there that is being protected by the Jundees. They're the ones that have requested our help.
Which race lays claim to the moon?
Both?
How is that possible?
Lieutenant Duvall, if you would,
Impressive.
Indeed. Now, pay attention, please. For a few months, Infinity orbits one planet, Muar, and then as it comes around, the gravity from the second planet, Jundee, draws it in, creating a figure-8 orbit.
An infinity symbol. Its name is appropriate.
Our best guess is that it's been like this for several millennia.
You said there's another aspect to this mission. Something you couldn't speak of at the time.
Just what would that be, Ambassador?
Well, Captain Bishop, Infinity is the one place in our galaxy that is known to produce quadlithium crystals.
Quadlithium?
There's no such thing, Ambassador. Quadlithium is a hoax, a myth. The best scientists in the Federation have determined that there's no way to make one, either in nature or in a laboratory.
Oh, quadlithium is quite real, Captain Bishop. I've seen them. I've even held one in my hand.
That would be quite a discovery if true. One quadlithium crystal could power a ship's warp core indefinitely, never needing to be replaced.
My dear, that is exactly why these two planets are at war. It is only our good fortune that their technology has not advanced beyond that of warp drive.
Negotiating to trade for this kind of resources. The Federation Council knows about this?
I am under the direct orders of the Federation Council itself. This isn't an invasion, Captain. This is a peace negotiation effort. It is my hope that we are able to establish a treaty between these two factions, and with the added benefit of being able to develop a trade negotiation for their crystals. Power source like that could revolutionize the Federation.
Mr. Menard, status.
New shield modifications are complete, Captain.
Thank you. Helm, take us in. Hang on!
Report. Shields are draining. Down to 75%. Make that 70.
Commodore,
Shook us up a bit, but we're all right.
acknowledge. Stand by.
We're coming out of it, sir.
Mr. Duvall.
Minor damage throughout the ship. Bulkheads are stable.
The shields are down to 47%.
Engines.
The engines and weapon systems were not affected.
Helm, warp 1 to the Valhalla system. Get down the engineer and see what you can do with the shields.
Aye, sir.
Captain, there are several vessels approaching from the system.
Friendlies?
Not likely. Their shields are up. Arming their weapons now. Low power disruptors only. Part of their group is going after the Daystrom. Others are settling into a standard attack formation around us.
No time for formalities. Target the lead ship and return fire.
It's just a little engine trouble, but we're all right.
Need some help? I could risk sending another shuttle.
No, get your ship back to open space now.
Several more fighters have regrouped. Their weapons will start taking a toll on our shields if we stay in the nebula.
All right, we're taking off. Mr. Stout, warp 1 to the barrier.
They are pursuing. The Boer ships have dropped back.
Why?
I don't believe their shields can handle the barrier. Captain, I don't... Never mind.
Secure from red alert. Engineering, Mr. Menard.
Menard here.
Dispatch the damage repair teams.
Already have, Captain.
Thank you. Bridge out.
Captain?
Commander. Is that what I think it is?
Yes, sir. From the readings we gathered last time we were in the nebula, I was able to modify the shields to adapt to it.
So the shields are stronger.
No, what I've done is I've added a rotating E sequence to the current shield modulations. They're not stronger, they've totally adapted to it. Now, we can fly through the barrier and the nebula without it affecting the ship.
Does Commander Kennedy know about this?
Her and Lieutenant Duval both approve. They're just waiting for your word.
Commander, the word is given. Good work.
So now I just have one question. Where's the quadlithium made? Consider this my resignation.
Eric, we gotta get you some help. We gotta get you to medical. You alright? Eric, come on.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Let's help you out.
Menard to Bishop.
Bishop here.
Jack, we need to talk.
On my way, Lieutenant.
This is still in the origin of Menard and getting to the Constar. Now, it's during his time on the Valiant under Captain Bishop, who's played by Michael King. It's always good to see the crossovers between different fan films and bringing it together as a whole universe, basically. Different, fill in the blanks on this event or that event and so on and so forth. Like I said, it's great to see Michael King and, all of his different adventures on the Valiant. We also have another crossover with a different fan film of the name Horizon. Now that one takes place back during the Enterprise TV show era, Archer's time and stuff like that. So it's always good to get a little backstory and reference on that too. If you haven't seen any of the others, Starship Valiant or the Horizon, I believe both of them are here on YouTube. Go ahead and check them out. Just for a little, backstory extra on what's going on. Sorry for the itchiness. It's Texas. Weather changes, messes with your skin and stuff like that, so I apologize about that. Back to the reviews now. This introduces the I don't know if you want to say really it's a new item. It's called quad lithium. Now, Trek fans are familiar with dilithium being the crystals that help power the warp core on starships. There is trilithium, which was not necessarily discovered, but mentioned in Deep Space Nine, where, it's more of a unstable, I guess you would say, explosive device or mineral. It's not, you have to make the device and get the mineral. Now there's quad lithium, and I'm not sure of the technical aspect of, what makes quad lithium different than trilithium, than dilithium, but it's within the realm of Star Trek. It's completely believable that there would be this item, this mineral, crystalline formation, whatever it is, makes sense. And we start to see a little bit about some of the effects of the quad lithium. It's a little bit more detailed on its effects in later fan films. It's expanded on, but it's not really talked about how it's activated or anything like that. The sound effect for it, I think, is pretty cool. It's kind of like a fire effect, a crackling of a fire. I think that's kind of fitting for what it does. It kind of affects people, we'll say. The science in the episode of the Moon Infinity, performing the figure 8 around 2 planets, it's quite interesting. I don't know if there have been any what they call exoplanets that have been found in other star systems in reality that have something like that, but it'd be pretty cool to see if it does actually exist. As far as the fan film goes, I love the fact that at the beginning right there, it's got that dedication to everybody who has helped fan films continue on to tell their stories and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't matter if you have no budget, if you have a huge budget, there's still a story out there that you can tell, you know, no matter the budget, no matter what you have. Put your heart into it. Tell the story that you're compelled to tell. If you don't have the effects, you know, and all that, so what? I will say, however, there are times that the audio quality could have used a little bit of work. I'm not saying, you know, it really bad, but in the especially in the scenes in Menard's quarters, sometimes the audio quality would have like a background hiss to it that could have been cleaned up and refined a little bit more. Overall, is it a major detractor? Not really. You know, just sometimes you notice that little skip of the audio hiss, and then it goes silent, it goes away, and then it comes back, you know, a couple seconds later. Same thing for the bridge scenes. There's a little, not necessarily echo, but kind of something in the background a little bit every once in a while on the bridge scenes. Again, you know, when you're doing a film with little to no budget, when you're doing it for the love of the material, things are going to happen. Little imperfections are going to happen. You know, me getting tongue-tied and saying the wrong thing, or having to scratch my nose or something like that. It's little imperfections. Doesn't take away from anything, but to those that are sensitive to sounds and stuff like that, you know, you may hear that from time to time. Like I said, this is for the Valhalla Stone. I'm reviewing both versions, and there's the retro version and the regular version. In my opinion, the retro version, where it goes black and white in those Menard's quarters scenes, works better with that kind of background hiss noise. You know, it feels like it's a old recording, you know, like you're remembering this, and you know, so it's slightly imperfect in that sense. To me, that blends better. It's about 20 seconds longer, so some scenes got, you know, a little bit more footage in them. The reference to the pizza rolls, I think, was good. Again, we have actors and people from behind the scenes in other Star Trek fan films showing up in this one. It's great to see everybody getting along, getting together, working together to make a fan film. You know, Scott Johnson, Michael Sylvester, Greg Teft, I mean, you all came together and I think did an amazing job on this. Really good. The effect of the quad lithium, I think, was very good. You know, seeing the blue and lightning strike kind of shakiness of going on when the quad lithium is affecting Menard. The one thing that I think could throw off some viewers is there's a scene where Menard's getting affected by the quad lithium, and it jumps scenes to Menard on the bridge, and someone is dead in the captain's chair. And if you don't know, if you haven't already watched future fan films, you might be confused by that. You see the ship that is shown. There's a ship off in the background that's old Constitution class that's, you know, out of power and damaged, presumably, because it's hanging kind of sideways, and you see this new Constitution refit movie era, you know, hanging out right there with the registry of 1764, and you're kind of like, wait, what the heck is going on here? Because normally the rest of the film is set in the time frame of like right before the original series, where you have the different uniforms of the Cage era are still around, and the original series era are kind of mixing together and stuff like that, and you're like, wait, what the heck? Why is this movie era starship hanging out here? That is an effect of the quad lithium that shows the mirror universe. And it really isn't explained in this. I'm not sure why they chose to go that route, because it is a little jarring if you don't know what's going on. And you're like, what? Wait, what? Huh? Here you have Menard being very aggressive, you know, yelling at people. You see him have a sword. I mean, you're like, what the heck is this? Did editing mess up and throw in a scene from another film and oops? No. I mean, that's designed to show that there is an effect of the quad lithium, and it has a lot more effects than you know about. So it's kind of a teaser. I hope y'all are not mad. I hope I didn't give anything away. Hope y'all have actually watched the films before these reviews and are familiar with that from later on films I will get to. If not, oops, sorry. But like I said, that scene can be a little jarring and like, wait, what the heck is going on here? Overall, I think it was pretty good. Like I say, my main detraction is that scene. You know, it just, with a future republic, you know, the refit, you're just left like, what the heck? You know, but if you overlook that scene and go with the rest of the story, spot on. It's great, you know, makes sense. Sets up the storyline of Menard quite a bit, and the quadlithium and the effect it will have on his very long life with many stories to come. So I will see y'all next time. This has been Constar Reviewed, and y'all take it easy. All right, bye.